first thing is to quantify the concentrations of pollutants and in turn the exposure of people who are exposed to this pollutant. In the developed countries there is much more monitoring. In the developing countries there is much less. There are parts of the world, like for example in Africa, where there is very little monitoring, or in the Pacific Island countries where with which we are now working. So we are now setting the first network of low-cost sensors. Now we know really a lot about the impacts of different sources of emissions from the sources and concentrations of pollutants in the air. And we also know what the impacts of these pollutants are. So I think now is the time for the next step, is to, from monitoring, to move on to deciding how to stop the emissions. Technologically, there are solutions already on the table. In most cases, it's not the lack of the solutions, it's not even the cost of the solution, it's the lack of political will to remove obstacles from enabling these technologies to be put in place. It's not a cost, it's economic benefit in removing obstacles from energy transition. Of course, it's not easy. It requires a lot of steps to be done, but hopefully participating in this conference, seeing the whole picture and seeing what's possible and how good it is for individual countries to change to cleaner sources, that this will start the transition in the countries in which it hasn't been happening yet.